Maybe like this. Oh, please, over here. Hello, everyone. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are. Today is a beautiful October morning for me and you. Right, Odie? It's been kind of quiet. Out for me in terms of picking up the camera. One sec. Out. Okay. Out. Actually, even closer. And you know what? Give me a second. I'll be right back. You know, whenever you get together with friends, you should probably have either like a snack or like a drink or a coffee, which is the same as a drink. Because here, when you come here, I would like it to feel like, you know, like a get together with a friend where you can sort of just sit back and kind of let loose. And that requires a coffee or tea. So I'm going to go do that right now. And if you don't have one, go get one. I'll see you in a minute. We're moving again. So much better. Ariel, I think this will just work out perfect. I'm on there. Oh, let's see. It'll have to do. What do you say? It'll just have to do. First world problems, first world solutions. There we go. All right. I just wanted the sun on me because it's actually today, it's plus I think 4. It's getting to that point where I've got 3 layers on. I look like a babushka. I have 2 layers of skirt. So 2 skirts, as you can see. I'm actually starting to wear. Oh my gosh, I already, squirrel. Okay, welcome back. Let me just wipe you guys. You guys are really nasty. Really nasty. Oh, and signature, hello, look what I brought. I didn't only bring coffee. This is like, we're outside. And I'm trying to create for my animals that are domesticated and wild, trying to create a space for my animals where they can bring me benefit and I can bring them benefit. So I brought seeds in case the DDs come. My next door neighbor is gone, and I thought I'd need my glasses, but I actually don't need them. My next door neighbor's gone, and so the birds have migrated to my place, and because I've been so busy, I haven't really been able to buy seeds to actually start feeding them. So I haven't really been able to set up my feeders. Oh, squirrel. Oh my God. Oh my God. This is the most terrible way to start a video. Okay, welcome back to Thorny Thoughts, where I've decided that I guess as I'm coming up, I don't even think that it's possible to come up with like an idea and have it. I think it comes together as it topples into place rhythmically somehow. Like you're doing it methodically and you're doing it thoughtfully, but it's kind of falling into place. And if you're here, what we do here, if you're here and you're back, welcome back. And if you're here and you're new, welcome. And what we do here right now, as far as I'm able to, what would be entitle or in encompass what we do here, what I do here, what hopefully this community will do, is boutique thinking and, couture thinking, thinking for the very few, a small percentage. We are a very small camp of thinkers. We are not liked. That's why we are thorny, we're uncomfortable, we are maybe bothersome. And we're that way to our owners, and therefore most of the people that are trained by our owners respond to us the same way that our owners are actually thinking of us. That's kind of the gist of the channel. I have this one of my 16 subscribers, but this person is amazing. And this person made me realize something about myself. So thank you. And what this individual made me realize is that I can't just come out and just have these, profound thoughts and, I can't constantly have really good provoking thoughts and ideas under the gun. If I'm feeling like I have to come out every Monday and every Thursday, I would get sort of a writer's block. And ironically, that made me think, because I thought, yeah, maybe that's already what's happening. Because what was happening is I was feeling the pressure to always be thinking something profound instead of just the way I was before I started recording myself and writing and thinking it through and talking it out with whoever would be willing to sacrifice themselves to listen. And this individual put in front of me that I, in fact, shouldn't be doing that. I shouldn't be scheduling myself, and I shouldn't feel bad about the fact that I haven't scheduled my thinking, because thinking comes and goes kind of like the artesian well. We have an artesian well, and it comes and goes in terms of that it's always going. So just like our thoughts, it's always going, but it's not artificially going at a steady flow. It's going kind of like in one of my videos, I made it, I said that, nature is really curvy and it's not straight. Whereas humans like to carve everything straight. They take wood and they make it into 2x4s and 2x6s and very strong edges, unnatural to really nature. And back to the thoughts, I realized he or she was right, because it's thoughts. And if there's going to be any good thoughts, they're going to come sometimes unexpectedly, and I'm going to have to be creating that space for them. Wow. Now that was a jumble. That was like a monologue of monologues. So hello. Hello. Friend, if you have come to join, I want this to be a place that is safe to disagree respectfully. And I'd like our motto, whoever's joining at any time, to have the mindset that anyone that comes in and has a comment that is destructive in nature, just outright destructive. I don't know, I had a bad feeling that I'm not recording. Isn't that so weird? Oh, false alarm. I'm still recording. Back to our motto, our pact. Couture thinking is really for a small group of people that are willing to not know, which I think is scary for most people. Couture, boutique thinking is also, I think, rooted in respect. And I think that if you come here and you want to bring forth an idea, I want you to know that I want to hear it. But the moment that the comment or the question is rooted in hate, in just hate, it'll just be met with love and dismissal for your right to speak your mind. But there's no other use for you. You are not functionally accepted to a system that requires functional input that is constructive. Even if it appears negative, as long as it is constructive for the long term, negative is in the eye of the beholder. As long as it's factual and a healthy addition to the structure of this community, our motto is treat everyone with respect, even if you don't agree with someone, because there's been so many times I disagree with someone and now I find myself completely agreeing with them, which is horrifying if you don't want to come to terms with the fact that we know nothing. If you come to terms with this freeing thing that we know absolutely nothing. I mean, quite frankly, it's very possible that we don't even know our own age. We don't know. Because, who gave us 12 months? Who gave us 24 hours? Who set these things? These are all measures of something. And we didn't set those measurements. We didn't sit there for a year or two or whatever that amount of time is and figure out, the repetitive cycles, and we came up with no, we didn't. It wasn't us. So we have always, as we're born, we're adopting something that we have no idea of the origin. And that's really the truth. And if you think about it that way, or this is, I guess, my meandering in this path, this is just me outwardly, just whatever's flowing. This is just whatever's coming out. But if you think about it, yeah, nothing is ours. Sorry. You know, I felt like that thought just hit me in the head. Oh my gosh. Like, I don't think most people are going to think that that's that crazy of a thought, but honestly, think about it. What did you organically ever come up with that wasn't somehow primed by the system? And if you can think of something, then I would love to hear about it. But everything from the moment you're born in a hospital, that's been given to you. From the moment that you go to school, that's been given to you. You have no choice. You are put on a set of tracks. You're born and then you're put on a set of tracks. And there are a few ways in which you can off ramp those tracks. But for the most part, you're on the tracks. I mean, okay, so for example, me, I would love to be able to be more like my ancestors, being more responsible for myself. If the system permits, I will be allowed, and I'm quite aware of this, allowed, permitted, given permission to do so. But I am still within the system. And I am not fooled to believe that somehow I am separate. Where around where I live, in many parts of Canada and the United States, there is a large community of people who, the Amish and the Mennonite community, who don't participate in certain parts of our society. I would argue, after being able to personally be able to encounter, see, observe, witness the way that these communities run, they are too very much in the system. They're not at all, really. I mean, yeah, they're a little bit, you know, they have a few unplugs to their RV, but they're pretty much connected. If you're picking up what I'm putting down. And this morning, while I was cutting up my bread, because I'm baking my own bread now, just so I can brag. Hello. What's making bread without bragging? And oh, and yeah, I've been I've been sort of, for the most part, back, but my family's kind of just eating the popular diet right now, just because we've had a lot of construction. But as I was, I like, that was way too much information. Like, holy, just side note, that was way too much information. I was listening to Catherine Austin Fitz. That was the point. Like, that was 5 minutes too many that I could have avoided. But because we're friends, I really beg for your forgiveness. And maybe you're sipping a cup of coffee now and you're like, oh my God, Rose, hurry the freaking heck up. All right, I'm going to try. No promises. It's not off to a good start. Anyway, out, 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 out. Just be careful for those seeds. And so, where was I? Catherine Austin Fitz. I guess my brain is going there because she is a person, one of the people that I would say that I have more faith in terms of the information that she provides. I feel strongly that most of the information that I have heard her say, I have not yet found her, pulling us in the Pied Piper direction. A lot of the people that are out there, I find, are not visibly, but more than likely the Pied Piper. Or what was that? What was that other? There was a new one that I think. Oh, yes, yes, yes. The something goat. She said it actually. Catherine Austin Fitz said it. Gosh darn it, what is it called? Basically, it's like the sheep goat or something like that, where the goat tricks the sheep off the cliff. And I can't remember. I will put it up on the screen. It was brilliant. And I will also put on the screen the title of that interview. It was with a gentleman. I think his channel is The True Man Show, like The True Man Show, The Truman Show. But and he has an interview with Catherine Austin Fitz. Anyways, I know this is totally riveting, but there's a lot to think about today. And the thinking that is required cannot survive in a 30-second video or even a 3-minute video. It has to take time to explain because, for the most part, we're in a point in history that will probably be quite heavily written about, how we are completely devaluing our humanity. We are stupefying our humanity in record speeds, to the point where I'm thinking by the time that if I make it, 20 more years, I think I'm not going to be able to communicate with many people. And I do mean that seriously. But that was what I thought. But listening to this interview, and if she's correct, and she is a smart lady, y'all, Catherine Austin Fitz. If you have never heard of her, I'm not sure where you've been, but she has been around and she has been educating for a long while, and she is a good person to a worthwhile listen. And if you can start practicing your long form information intake and less videos, more reading and listening, I think more people, would be, at this point, shocked at what she has to say. If you've been following this for any amount of time, where you know some of these, very basic facts, this is not a shock. And, you know, she talked about in this interview, and I'm not going to talk too much about it only because I don't want to be here 45 minutes. And also, I don't want to say something that I'm not permitted to say and she is permitted to say, because I really don't know if she has controlled opposition. And she talks about openly about the plan, the schedule at which the overlords of our colony called humanity want to diminish us in numbers. And she's openly saying that it's a plot, it's a plan, it's being carried out. And if people don't see it, well, I mean, that's okay. But also not, because it's kind of really time that, the rubber hits the road, so to speak. I would encourage you to at least try to listen to a portion of it. He's a very good interviewer. He's actually a Dutch interviewer. I think I'm going to start following him, actually, because he sounds like he's quite knowledgeable. And as I was listening to this talk, I realized that we have no time to waste on anything, really. And so this brings me to today, where I'm supposed to have a video up and I don't, because I just been, kind of having a hard time. And that's okay, because I can have a hard time, just like everybody can have a hard time. Actually, I would say that more people are having a hard time than not. That's been my experience as I've been talking to people. But I don't have time to waste on anything that I think is important. So, to me, talking about things that are important, not to me necessarily, but to us as a collective. And I am not one for collectives, let's put it that way. But the only way out of this, really, I think, is collectively. But even if we all collectively put our minds to getting out of this situation that we're in right now, even with a collective resistance, I think, like any war, only a few will really survive, because there's going to be some that are obviously have been hurt by it severely to a point where they can't really function properly, and then there's going to be that small population that survives if this continues on the path that Catherine Austin Fitz is saying. And to not quote her exactly, but to paraphrase her, she said, no, we're not slaves, comparatively, basically, because